Our buddies over at Caterpillar have said that their year-over-year sales for last month are up 7%. Now, that's not as good as the 8% they were up last month year-over-year, but that's not too bad. Now, sales are only up 2% in North America, while they're up 40% in Asia and the Pacific. Now, what's with that? Now, that could mean one of two things. Either Asia, the Pacific, building starts are happening. You know what? Developers, people who are putting up property, forecast that for the future, there's going to be big stuff going on. Everybody's ready to go. It's all hands on deck. We're putting down all the capital we have, releasing as much equipment as we can because we know we're going full bore. So Caterpillar's seeing these big spikes in sales. That's possible. So is that what's happening in the United States with such a slow market growth? Even though we see that home starts are up and mortgages are up and, we're going to see what the home builders are doing here in a little while with earnings. We're also going to see Home Depot and Lowe's and really get a better idea of what's going on right from the material side all the way through the building. But what does that mean for America? Does that mean it's slowing down? Does that mean that we've seen already the most that we're going to see out of it and home builders and the people that would be purchasing this equipment kind of say like, let's pump the brakes a little bit. I think we've reached the tipping point. It could mean that. It could mean the sales are popping in Asia because they see the progress on the horizon. And it could mean that the American home builders are pulling back a little bit. But it could also mean that the fact that these pieces of equipment last many, many years, that when these pieces of equipment are purchased, they've already chalked up. They're going to get 7 years, 9 years, 11 years, whatever the life cycle is of these pieces of equipment. They're going to get these life cycles out of these products. Could it be that when the home building in the United States started, let's say 3.5, 4 years ago, when everything was really finally, we were sure we were turning a corner and something was actually going to start happening in the United States, regardless of what government was doing to maybe stifle it, the United States was turning things around. Could it be that then that's when we've seen all the growth? You're going to have to go back and take a look at what Caterpillar did over the last couple of years in the United States. And if equipment sales went out then, because if you're sitting on a bunch of 3-year-old equipment, 4-year-old equipment, because you're ready to build and you're still building for the future, you're not going to go out and buy new equipment now. But Asia could have been in a totally different position 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So this equipment could be still under warranty to Americans. But when you come back to maybe they were running old equipment. They didn't foresee the boom, or there wasn't a boom on the precipice like there is potentially now with the 40% increase in sales. So there could be one of two reasons. It could be that a lot of American companies, maybe they are holding old equipment. Maybe they do have stuff that the warranties passed by and this equipment, but they don't foresee the boom continuing. They don't think anything more than maybe flatline is good enough, but potentially it might go down. Or they could see it as, we got all this new equipment. We did this 3 years ago. This equipment doesn't get bad that fast. So that's why you would see maybe a slow in sales. So it could be one of those two things, Caterpillar sales a little off.